Hi, we're doing another comparison today. What are we comparing? The Forte AP from Baratza, which means all-purpose, versus the Atom from Eureka, the new kid on the block. Hey, it's Gail from Seattle Coffee Gear, and I just want to go over the features of these two grinders because they're kind of in that same price point. You can check that out on our website. And so for you to decide which one's going to work best for your needs. So I'll go over the features. On the all-purpose, what that means is it'll do everything from espresso right on up to French press. So that's really good. You have the macro settings over here. You get 10 different choices. And then the micro over here, you have 26. So that gives you a total of 260 settings that you can choose on this machine. This machine also comes with the portafilter holder right here, which is metal. This thing is heavy. And it comes with the bin. Down here you'll see that there is a little square. This grinder actually will weigh your coffee when you're using the bin. So you can do your coffee by time, weight, and then you have your manual for grinding just manual amounts, and then 3 other timed settings that you can put in there. I think that's kind of nice. Let's go to weight. It'll go to weights then. Weights then. No, it's not weights then, it's weight. It will do actually 60 grams on that setting, 15 grams on that one. Let's just make it do its thing. Let's tear it out first. Okay. Nice. So you heard the volume of the noise. This also up here holds, the bean hopper holds 10 ounces of whole beans. And it also has a shutoff over here. If you flip this, it'll say closed. You can now take this bean hopper out of here. Okay. They must have it screwed in, locked in. Well, you gotta turn it. That's what happens when you don't play with things before you go on film, right? So the beans are shut off. You want to change your beans out? Take these, dump them, put some other beans in, and put this right back on again. And this will not work with the bean hopper not engaged properly. There's a little micro switch that's in there. Come on, go down in. Let me just look here. There we go. There's a couple of tabs. You got to get the tabs lined up, one here and one in the back. And then if it's not engaged like that, it won't work. They don't want you grinding your fingers. Nice chrome casing. You can see that. That's really nice. This weighs a couple of pounds too. So that is the Forte all-purpose. This would be good for somebody that wants to go between French press and espresso and make the adjustments. All you have to do is remember what your adjustments were. And remember, if you're going to a finer setting, have it running as you're making those adjustments. That's really important. Now, let's go over to the Atom from Eureka. It has a manual setting. If I was to push that right now, we'll grind down into whatever, and I have to push it again to shut it off. Or it has programmable, this is double. And you can up the time on this. You can see it changing. Or you can minus it. You set the time for whatever's going to work right to fill your portafilter. Over here, single shot, and over there, double shot, and manual. Infinite control up here. This is a stepless grinder. It has a 60 millimeter flat steel burrs, holds 1.3 pounds. I forgot to mention the burrs on the Forte. It is a 54 ceramic flat burrs. So a little bit different burr situation going on. This one, you won't have the weight option. And you probably are going to dedicate this to espresso. That's just the nature of the beast. This is not designed to go back and forth like the AP is. So if you want a grinder that's going to do a strictly espresso, this is a pretty nice one. I want you to hear this compared to what the Forte was. The other thing that this has, and let me dump this out and I'll show you again. In the middle, I want to shake it down. It has the pause feature. Now I start it back up again and it will complete the seconds. Pretty nice. I like that a lot. And the one thing I noticed about this as well, it doesn't shoot coffee all over the place. It really keeps it pretty much contained. Let's try the Forte with a portafilter and just see what that does. Time. I got to see what the times are here. I don't want a big old time. I got that shut. So this fits. I didn't adjust this in any way. This is a La Marzocco portafilter that happened to be sitting here. It fit really tight against here, so I didn't have a lot of stuff flying all over the place. I think if your portafilter was smaller and down further, you might have a little bit, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a huge amount. So this is much bigger. You can see that this is tall too. You got to make sure this is 18 3/4 inch tall. I didn't measure this one, but you can see it's a lot shorter. It's going to fit under your cabinets. This is questionable about that. Quieter. I like the pause feature. I like the fact it doesn't shoot all over the place. That's the pros on this one. The con, the height. The noise level is so nice, though. That's so nice. This one, it is the pros on it. It gives you the different programmability, and you can also go from espresso, and I'm going to show you in a second, right on up to French press. Not too many grinders do that, so that's a real plus on this one. The downside, I would say, is it's pretty noisy. You heard it. Let's look at the consistency of the grind. This is the coarsest on the Forte, and this is the finest. And I know you're not going to be able to see this. This is actually fairly consistent. Not bad for a coarse setting. This doesn't go as fine as the Atom. This one is much finer. You can see, well, maybe you can see it's more like talc. This is as coarse as we really wanted to go. It's probably not the coarsest on it, but it's not designed to do French press. This is a nice, consistent drip, pour over. So you can see there's a difference. This one goes much coarser, doesn't go quite as fine. This one goes super fine, but you're not going to go probably up to a real coarse setting. So if you're just doing espresso and you don't care about weight and all that, maybe the Atom would be the great one for you. If you're the person that goes back and forth between espresso, drip, and up to French press, and you like the weight feature, then maybe the Forte AP would work better for you. It's your choice. I can give you all kinds of information, but in the end, you got to make up your mind. You can always call in and ask questions of our customer service and sales folks. Once in a while, I even answer the phone, so maybe I get to talk to you. That would be my privilege, right? Subscribe down below, comments down below, and check out the rest of the stats on our webpage.